Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel, Uncultured Pearls, where I like to do crafts. Today is going to be all about diamond painting. I'm finally putting in more work. I'm gonna get this thing done. If you watch my first couple of diamond painting videos, you're probably wondering what the heck happened to the rad tiger. Well, he's still here. He's just taken a little while. It's tough because primarily I knit and crochet, and so there aren't enough hours in the day to do all the crafts that I want to do. But I figure if I make another video, you guys can help me stay motivated. So let's do this. Let's make some progress. Let me see if I can show you everything. So I've done almost 2/3, I think. But we're gonna see how far we can get today and put some good work in and do some solid chatting. I might have to kind of spin around. Thank you to everyone who explained to me what the little cover minders do. That was really helpful. And where do I want to work right now? I think I've been working in this area, so maybe let's spin around and get some access and see what we can accomplish. Let's see. Might zoom in a little bit. Oh, you guys probably can't see that at all. I also did my nails for you guys. How's that? Again, we're uncultured here on Uncultured Pearls, so my manicure is not perfect. Nothing is perfect, but that's all right. So let me find the right color. I need number 4. Now I feel like you can't see anything like this, so there we go. Number 4, and let's shake some out. So, how's my life been going since last time we chatted? I would say okay. I did just get over being sick. I was out from work for a couple of days, which was annoying. It was not COVID. I tested myself several times, was always negative. By the way, thanks for the tip for using the tweezers to do these, what are these called? ABs. It's all coming back to me. The tweezers are a lot easier for the ABs. They don't mess up the wax. So thank you everyone who commented and let me know about that. Anyway, me being sick, essentially it was a cold, but it turned into like a cold from hell, because I ended up going to patient first twice. First, they tested me for COVID and flu and strep, and it was all negative. She told me to take some Flonase, and she was gonna give me a prescription for prednisone. That's probably too much information. Because I have like mild asthma, and I guess that was supposed to help. I didn't end up taking the prednisone because I didn't like the way it made me feel when I took it previously. Anyway, I didn't get better after the first trip to patient first, so I ended up going back, found out that I had bronchitis, which I guess just happens sometimes, and they gave me a Z-Pak, like an antibiotic. So I took that. Finally I did get better, but like the annoying part was that I was coughing so much that I kind of like pulled some muscles in my rib cage chest area. And so then it was just extremely painful every time I coughed. And anyway, this is turning into a pity party for me, which I don't like to be like that. I like positivity. So I did get better. I'll tell you one story about being sick because it was kind of funny. So this was like sort of early on in the illness before I went to the doctor. I am a lawyer. I think I've mentioned this in one of my videos, but not a diamond painting video. So you may not know if you've only watched my diamond painting videos. But I'm an assistant Commonwealth's attorney, which is what we call district attorneys here in Virginia. And so I work in the juvenile and domestic relations court. So I prosecute mostly domestic violence and then also crimes that are committed by kids under 18. And when I was sick, it's hard to take off work. I guess like a lot of professions feel this way. But it's hard because if I have a docket and I've prepared the docket, no one can easily cover that for me. You know, like I've spoken to all the victims, I've learned the facts of the case and reviewed the body cam and all that stuff. So it's a lot to ask to be like, hey, I'm not feeling well, can someone cover my docket? Like, one does not simply cover someone else's docket. So I felt a lot of pressure to keep working. And this was not like pressure that anyone else put on me. They are really nice people that I work with and they gladly would have covered for me. It was like a self-imposed pressure that I didn't want to make people cover the slack for me, pick up the slack for me. You know what I'm saying? So this was like 2 weeks ago on Wednesday. I had this Wednesday docket. I had prepped it. So I decided to go into work and do it. And I wasn't feeling way too sick yet, but I wasn't feeling good. But I decided to power through. I was wearing a mask so I wouldn't get other people sick. But I'm doing this docket. Obviously it takes a lot of talking to, you know, appear in court. But this one case that I had, the victim that I had to call to the stand and, you know, had her testify, and I asked all the questions on direct examination and stuff. She was extremely hard of hearing, and she had a hearing aid, but I think she was like mostly deaf in both ears, but she had lost one of the hearing aids, so she only had one, and so she could hardly hear anything. And so there I am in court. I had to like walk over to the witness stand. Usually I just ask my questions from counsel table, but I had to walk all the way over to be close to her and ask her all these questions. I'm like screaming at the top of my lungs. My voice is wrecked because I'm not feeling well. Somehow we managed to get through it. But it was like the absolute worst timing, you know, because that would have been okay had I not been getting sick. So I think I kind of exerted myself too much by doing that, and, you know, just kind of being on my feet and talking the entire day and stuff, because the following day I was in bad shape. And I was actually supposed to have another docket the next day, but I finally did give in and called out sick, and one of my colleagues covered it for me. So I'm very grateful to him for doing that. But I don't know, I guess it seems like sometimes you can feel like you're cursed, you know? Like, why does this have to be happening to me when I'm not feeling well? It's kind of the same thing of like you have a big trip planned and then you start to feel a tickle in your throat like right before the big trip. And you're like, why now of all times? And it's frustrating. But life does go on. It sort of gave me some time to do crafts when I was homesick, except that for a while I was knitting and crocheting, but I kind of felt like the woolly smell of my yarn was kind of irritating to my lungs and was kind of making me cough worse. I don't know if it was like a psychological thing or if that was like really happening. I don't know. So I could only really knit and crochet for small chunks of time, and then I kind of would feel like I needed to take a break. But that sort of inspired me to get back to the diamond painting. So once I was feeling well enough to like sit up, because you can't really diamond paint while you're totally lounging on the couch, you know, you have to be like somewhat vertical. Once I was feeling well enough to do that, I got back into the diamond painting. So I've been making a little progress on that. Oh, someone is being fast and furious outside, if you can hear that. So my new favorite thing that I've really been into is watching the Savannah Bananas baseball. I had not been aware of this until I saw them on Instagram a few months ago, and now I am obsessed. Like, they are hilarious. If you've never heard of them, they're an exhibition baseball team. So technically the sport that they're playing is not even baseball, it's banana ball, because they have changed some of the rules to make them more fun. So like a pop fly, if a fan catches a pop fly, it counts as an out. And there's no such thing as a walk. There's a sprint. So the fourth ball, the batter has to run, and they can run to however many bases they want. But before the other team gets the ball to each player. So like the defensive team has to throw the ball to each of the players. And once everyone touches the ball, then the runner is out unless they're safely on a base. So like, it's zany, it's crazy. The umpire dances all the time. And when I say dance, like he twerks. He for serious dances. One guy plays on stilts. Of course, I'm pouring this in like over top of my sticky area, so that's probably not smart. Anyway, it kind of got me through my illness because it just made me so happy to watch these games. And they stream live on YouTube. I think pretty much every game they play, they will put on YouTube. All right, what's the next color I need? How about this one? Today, oh, I didn't say what today was. Today is June 19th, 2023, Juneteenth. So I'm off work, which is really nice. And it's also my father's birthday. He is turning, I don't know, he was born in 56, so do the math there. 67? My gosh, I think he's 67. We celebrated with him yesterday. We were gonna go to this restaurant near where my apartment is. I live in Richmond, Virginia. But it turned out they were having some Juneteenth events in the neighborhood, and it was gonna be really crowded. Like, we checked online and there were no available tables at this place we wanted to go. So we adopted kind of a COVID mentality and we said, well, let's just party at home. So I went over to my parents' house. We made some pizzas on the grill, which is fun. My mom made us some frozen strawberry daiquiris, which were very good. And my mom also made cupcakes for my dad, and my dad requested chocolate cupcakes with orange frosting, which was a very good combination. And he was kind enough to share, so I got to take 4 cupcakes home with me. And I already ate 2 of them at lunchtime today. So we had a great time. We were thinking about trying to go to the restaurant today instead, like for lunch. But then my parents ended up having a large breakfast and didn't really want lunch. So we're just gonna hold off and go on a different day. Was that all? Oh, I can do some more over here. Yeah, so what else do I talk about? I feel like my life is not interesting enough for WIP and chats. You know, because I kind of just go to work and then I come home and do some crafts and that's it. The other annoying thing about getting sick was I had been making decent progress with running. I guess maybe jogging is a better term for what I do. I do not run fast by any means, and I don't really run far, but I like to go outside and I think I do feel healthier when I'm active. So I had been kind of quote unquote training before I got sick. And then the bronchitis kind of threw everything off because I really couldn't run for like 3 weeks. And I have gone a couple times now, not super far. Like yesterday I went, I mean, I did a 5K, I did like 3.1 miles, but it took me like 38 minutes because a bunch of it was walking. But you know, the important thing is getting out there, right? Like any run, no matter the speed, is healthier than nothing. I mean, unless you injure yourself by doing it, right? So like there's exceptions to every rule, but I'm not so obsessed with speed or intensity or distance. I just want to improve. So I'm trying to, but you kind of lose a lot of fitness when you don't run for a couple weeks. Let's see what color is next. How about A? Y'all are probably laughing at me. You probably can't see. I missed a bunch of those first ones I did, the ABs. Now looking at it, I see that I missed a bunch, so that's annoying. But let's do A. I feel like I need some ideas for what to watch on Netflix, Hulu, whatever else. I've just not been inspired recently to watch anything, and I don't know. Oh, I messed that up. I don't know what I should try to watch. I've been just watching a lot of YouTube, I think, because there's such a thing as decision fatigue, right? Like we have a lot of choices we have to make in life. Like, what can I afford at the grocery store? Where am I gonna go out to dinner? How am I gonna pay off my student loans and save for a house? I mean, that's like a big life thing for me at the moment, but you get what I'm meaning. Like, our lives are filled with all of these tiny decisions that we have to make. And so then when you're relaxing and you're just trying to chill and watch something on TV, to be faced with another decision to pick something to watch, it's like it's the straw that breaks the camel's back. And so I just oftentimes open up YouTube and see what it recommends me and just click on something. And a lot of the time it's people in Disney World. I love all those Disney vlogs, like trying out the new food and all of that. Here's some more down here. Because my family is going to Disney in February next year. I think I mentioned in my last WIP and chat. So I'm still kind of casually planning. I'm not much of a planner when it comes to vacations either. I'm more of like the person that just goes with the flow, and whatever other people want to do, generally I'm cool with. So I think for this trip, it's mostly going to be my sister and my brother-in-law who do the majority of the planning. Plus, it's my niece, their child, who is really excited about it. She's never been to Disney. She's going to be 4 years old. So they're going to have to plan how to keep her happy, etc. And so for me, I'm just content to go with the flow, really. But it is kind of fun to watch these videos in case there is something that looks really fun and I decide to myself, oh, I really want to do that, then there is something that I want to ask for. And make sure it makes it on the itinerary. I did go on a trip a few weeks ago before I got sick. A friend of mine from college, one of my college roommates actually, was getting married, and so she had her bachelorette party in Charleston, South Carolina. And I had never been to a bachelorette party before. I'm really not much of the bachelorette party type of person, but I really wanted to see these friends again. So it's been 10 years since I graduated from college. And so it was kind of like a mini college reunion. I ended up not going to my college reunion, which was last weekend, I think. But I didn't go because I was still not feeling well. But previously, I went to this thing in Charleston, and it was a lot of fun. It was kind of my first trip since COVID, really. I ended up driving down there. Everybody else flew. They were coming from different places, most of them further away than me. For me, it was like a 5.5, 6 hour drive. But it was probably a little bit cheaper to drive than get a plane ticket. So I just sacrificed the time and did it. I also just like road trips. So I'm gonna sip some water. It was a good time. Mostly we went to restaurants, we walked around. Charleston is very walkable. The weather was good. It rained a little bit, but definitely not a washout or anything. Probably the highlight was when we went on this boat ride. It was supposed to be the kind that you have to pedal to move the boat, but everyone on there kind of just wanted to drink our beers and didn't really want to work for it. So the skipper and the deckhand just kept the motor on the whole time, and we just rode around and drank. And I come to find out later that the gears connecting the pedals to the boat actually were not connected. So like, even if we had wanted to pedal, they actually removed the functionality because nobody wanted to do that, apparently. So yeah. But once I found out about that, I noticed that the same kind of boats actually are available here in Richmond, like pretty much right down the way from where I live. There's a little water area on the James River called Rocket's Landing, and they have those boats like that. And apparently those ones actually are connected. The pedals do function, because I've been jogging down there and sometimes I see them in motion, and you can see the people with their little feet going like this, and so they're actually pedaling the boat. Let's see, time to switch. Let's see, maybe I should talk about diamond painting. Probably I should have done that first, but you know, I'm not good at WIP and chats, so Am I enjoying diamond painting? Yes. Why did it take me so long to make progress on this? I don't know. You just kind of get busy, don't you? Next color is gonna be C. I think sometimes what it is that after work, I'm quite tired and I want to be fully on the couch, you know, like reclined on the couch. And diamond painting takes a little bit more verticality of your body, and you know, you do have to be like reading the symbol and locating the right color. Whereas depending on your knit and crochet project, sometimes it's extremely easy. Of course, there are times when you have to check the pattern, and you know, sometimes it's complicated and you might not understand the pattern. But if you're in a part of the project where it's just like crochet in the round or whatever, it really takes no mental strain and very little physical strain to do it. So I think that kind of made that the easier option after work. And then I had been away on the weekend for the trip to Charleston. And then also my niece got baptized. I should give my shout out to her. Hey Ginevra, how you doing? I'm telling the YouTube people about how you got baptized. You did such a good job. It looked great in your dress. But that was another weekend that I was up at my sister and brother-in-law's house. So that was another weekend that I couldn't diamond paint. And then right after that is when I got sick. So it was just a lot of unforeseen circumstances combining to make it hard for me to make progress on this. And certainly some of it's my fault. Like, I made the choice to knit instead of doing this. But I genuinely do think it's fun. Like, I am going to continue diamond painting. You know, because I already bought that one other kit, but that one will not be the last kit I do, I don't think. Are these some ABs again? Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the tweezers out. I'm really excited about the prospect of kitting up my next kit, because as you probably will recall, I didn't really kit up all at once with this, so I didn't really know that was a thing. But now I do know. And I mean, I have kitted up now. And in the future, I will be kitting up. And like, in some respects, I feel like that is gonna be the funnest part. Like, placing the diamonds is also fun, but the organizational satisfaction of placing each color in its own little container is just so great. That was all of this color. I do wish I had more trays. Oh, okay, here's another diamond painting thing I can talk about. I cracked into my other kit to retrieve the cover minder so that I could place 2 of them on my painting. And then also the other pen, or whatever this is called. So now I have one with the small multi-placer and one with the big multi-placer, and I switch between depending on the area that I'm working on. And then I did get the tweezers out of the other one. And what else? Ah, yes, the other tray. So now I'm working with 2 trays. One I just keep with the black at all times because there's so much black on this. Then the other one I switch out with colors. And I know you're all gonna tell me that I should buy new pens and bigger trays, and you're right. You're absolutely right. And I will probably do that. Why can't I find the next color I need? It's gone. What the heck? It's probably right in front of me, like that time in my first video when I was trying to find one color and couldn't. Ah, here it is. F. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of a cheapskate. I shouldn't say that. I'm selective with the things that I spend my money on. And so I don't know how much happier having a bigger tray and a better pen will make me. It might make me somewhat happier, but I don't know if it's gonna be a significant difference. And so I'm like, I'll just hold off, even though I know that they're cheap. I'll just wait because I'm in a happy place where I am, you know, like why mess with something if it's not broken? Yeah. Ah. I got 2 stuck to my placer. Okay. So once I'm done with this one, I am gonna need to frame it because I want to hang this one up in my office at work. So I will probably make a video of me trying to frame it. Like, pray for me because I don't know how to do that. I guess I will probably see if there's videos out there of other people framing theirs. So if you guys know of any good ones, put them in the comments because that will be really helpful. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind that I'm on a budget to some degree. I mean, I want it to look nice, so I'm not gonna get like the absolute cheapest option possible, but with framing stuff, like, you can spend thousands of dollars framing something if you want to, and I'm not trying to do that. Did that for my diplomas, and I was like, ugh, never again. So don't know. Let me know if you have a good option. And I'm excited to get on to diamond painting number 2. That one is a square, what are they called? Drills. That one's got square drills. So I'm very excited about that. I guess there's gonna be a learning curve. Switch into my big multi-placer. I have gotten better with the multi-placers. This is not to say that I never screw up, because I certainly do. But, see, that wasn't perfect. Then I kind of just scoot them to the place that I want. And the whole thing of like, you can pick up fewer than the multi-placer actually needs. So like here I'm going for 5, and so I'm gonna just pick up 5 with this, even though I could put more. I feel like that is a clutch move that you kind of just eventually realize that you can do it that way. Oh, there's a train going by again. Sorry for the noise. Hope you can hear me. I feel like I'm talking kind of quietly. Sorry if you can't. Also, let me know, like, should I film another video before I'm done with this? Or should I just finish it off camera and then do the video about framing it? Let me know. Switch it back to the other one. Yeah. We have a fun baseball team here in Richmond. They're called the Richmond Flying Squirrels. And they're not quite as silly as the Savannah Bananas, but there are some zany antics at the Squirrels games. But I usually go to 1 or 2 every season. I've been to 1 this year. And they're really fun, but it's really easy to drink too much. Like, they have, you know, you can get the big beers that are like, well, you know, it's vertical, but like the huge beers. And I swear I'm not an alcoholic, but like, dang, it is easy to just keep on going. There's, you know, the breeze running through your hair and the sound of the bat hitting the ball, and it's America, you know, and you're having a good time. And all of a sudden, you realize you should have switched to water. Like, yeah. You know, they do also have slushies and, you know, soft drinks and snacks and everything that's really fun. So like, you don't have to drink too much at the games. I went to UVA for school, Apparently our baseball team did really well and went to the College World Series this year, but I think we just lost and got knocked out. I don't follow it that carefully, but I did just find out about that, and it's a bummer. We also have a primary election here in Virginia tomorrow. So once I finish with this video, I gotta go research my candidates because I don't actually know who I'm gonna vote for. You know, you'd think I should know, but I've gone and waited till the last minute. But hey, at least I'm gonna vote. So that's something. I've used self-control and I have not ordered any more diamond paintings since the 2 that I originally bought. But I may have to change that. Because they're just really fun. Then I was also thinking about whether and how I should save the leftover drills. You know, like, should I even bother saving them? Will I use them for anything? Oh, these two are stuck together. I mean, I think the lady from Diamonds and Washi saves all of hers, right? Is her name Katie? I'm sorry, I can't remember. So I guess down the line, if I ever wanted to alter one, like if I didn't like a certain color, I could switch it out for a different color if I had a bunch of extra. So it might be useful in that situation. But then again, like, am I ever gonna do that? I don't know. I need a few more. I don't know. And then, yeah, should I put them back in the little Ziploc baggies that the kit comes with? Or should I leave them in containers? I mean, then I'd have to buy new containers for each kit that I do. That might be a little annoying. So I don't know. Let me know what you do. If you're a person that has finished multiple diamond paintings, do you keep the extra? And what do you do with them? And have you ever actually used any of the extras that you've kept? Or do you, maybe you feel like it just makes you happy to have them stashed away somewhere? That's valid. But let me know in the comments. Well, we're coming up on an hour here. If any of you are still watching, I feel like you're the die-hard fans. And you should definitely hit subscribe if you have not already. Because clearly, you're into my content if you're still watching. I don't know, sometimes for me it's just like nice to have someone on. Like sometimes if I'm crocheting a pattern that's kind of complicated, I'm like barely paying attention to the TV, but I just want something on in the background. And so I feel like a WIP and chat is perfect for that, because it doesn't matter that much what the person's even saying. You just kind of want to have a nice background noise whilst you are focused on the thing that you're doing. So maybe some of you are diamond painting right now as we speak. That's great. Oops, evidently I dropped a drill on top of I do get a lot of static. I guess I need some dryer sheets or something. Also leave me that in the comments. What do you do for staticky drills? Well, I'm gonna just kind of pick in place with my tweezers because I missed just a couple. Of course, I dropped one on top of my thing right here. Boop. Gosh, I'm gonna be so excited when this thing is done. Man. I want to know whose idea this was. You know, you ever think about that? Like, who was sitting there and said, I have an idea. I want to create a paint by number, but instead of paint, it's placing little sparkly things on an adhesive background. It had to be like, I don't know, someone in Japan or something, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's an American. Yeah. Whoever it was, they are a genius because it's so nice and relaxing. Let's see. Oh, honestly, there's like 5 of these too. I'm just gonna go out of the container. Yeah, although it's harder to pick them out of this deep container. This might not work. Am I doing the right color? Yes. You ever feel that way, like you're doing something and you're like, oh wait, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? While I was sick, I decided to watch George of the Jungle. If any of you out there are millennials, and probably you're not, I think most of my demographic is slightly older, but I'm a millennial and I grew up with George of the Jungle. I would frequently watch that movie when I was homesick. And so I decided to watch it when I was homesick as a 32-year-old lady. And man, it is funny. Like, of course, a lot of it is very juvenile humor, but I like juvenile humor. And it was a lot of fun. And it made me also want to watch The Parent Trap. I do like both versions of The Parent Trap, by the way. The Lindsay Lohan one and the, what's her name? Hayley Mills? Is that her name? I like both. I'm kind of partial to the Lindsay Lohan one because of the nostalgia from when I was a kid. So that's the one that I really want to watch. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. I did also watch Shaun of the Dead the other day. That's one of my mom's favorite movies, and I like it a lot too. I think that was all of this color. Nope, 3 right there. It's just very funny. Again, a lot of it is not sophisticated humor, but who cares? You know, if something makes you laugh, just go with it. Maybe that's the moral of today's WIP and Chat. Like, if something makes you happy, just go for it. We got 3 minutes until it's an hour. Do I quit there? Maybe let's grab this little plus sign. Here it is. Oh, that's a pretty one. Purple. I just dropped one onto my painting again, but I don't see where. Yeah. No! Oh, found it. Gosh, I'm just ridiculous. You're probably all watching and being like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing yet. That's so cute. So feel free to give me suggestions of how to be better. But I'm not really going for speed, you know? It's more about just enjoying the road. Yeah. Did I put those in the right place? I think it's fine. But thanks for joining me. I'm just about to wrap up here. Sorry, it's just a ramble fest. I mean, I guess that's what a WIP and Chat is, right? Like, we're just hanging out. I should try to come up with some more interesting stories. Or I was gonna talk about classic rock too, right? Maybe next time. There we go. I think I'm gonna call it quits for now. Made some progress. What's really gonna be annoying is this whole black part. And there's even bigger black part over here. Like, gosh, how am I gonna do this? Enter my happy place. I'll get it done. Anyway, thank you for joining me. It's been a fun time. Thanks for bearing with all my crazy, weird rambles. Hope you have a fabulous week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.